We waited like 12 years for both of these figures to come out, and they both come out at the same time. Brah. What's up, guys? Rado back with another video, and we got the Hiya Godzilla 2000. Apparently this figure has been really hyped up for, I think this got announced like in 2024, I think? I'm not too sure how long we waited for this figure, but I'm pretty sure it's at least a year and a half between like announcement and release. But we got this and the monster arts roughly about the same time. So for a long time we only had the Sakai monster arts for like articulated Godzilla 2000 figures, but now we have two more. So yeah, let's get into the video. Here's the box real quick. It's just plain Hiya box. I really like the simple style that Hiya goes for their boxes. It's pretty simple. It's pretty cool. 1999 Godzilla. Boom. Let's get started. Alright, so here we have the Hiya Godzilla 2000. Now, I'm just going to say right now, this is a major improvement over whatever the heck GMK was, because in my opinion, GMK was like a complete dud. Like, that figure was not at all high quality in my opinion. If anything, it was like a NECA 2.0, if like NECA locked in. But this figure is insanely better than 2001 in my opinion, and I like it a lot more. But this isn't a video about 2001, but let's move on. Anyways, so this guy's pretty cool. He's looks like Godzilla 2000, so that's good enough for me. First off, like paint wise, I really like the color of the spines. It reminds me of the Memorial Box Bandai Godzilla 2000, which we'll bring up for a comparison later. But I like the hot pink purple sort of color they have for going out for the spines. I know it's not technically what Godzilla 2000 spines are supposed to be, because I'm pretty sure they're just purple, but I'm kind of a fan of these. I like them. One thing I'm not a fan of with this figure and Hiya in general is that they tend to just go in and add a brown wash like into the skin. You probably can't see it on camera, but in person there's a brown wash like pretty much throughout the entire figure. It's pretty noticeable, like on the tail here. You probably can't see it in the lighting, but like, yeah, kind of right there you can see it. I just am not a fan of them doing the brown wash, and I really wish they would stop doing that. But and whatever, maybe a lot of people like it. I'm probably just like the minority that don't like it. But anyways, otherwise the paint is really good. He's not as green as I would like him to be, as I'm pretty sure Godzilla 2000 is supposed to be. But it's alright. There's a little like greenish in like his like crotch area or whatever, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, otherwise I think the eye paint isn't super bad. I mean, it's not the greatest per se, and I know that we'll get into the sculpt later, but I think the teeth paint is pretty good. It's not terrible, and the tongue, we'll talk about that later, but the mouth paint, pretty good. I like it. So overall for paint, I think this figure blows GMK out of the water. I don't know why the GMK was like gray instead of like charcoal black or whatever GMK is normally painted as, but I think this is a massive step up from that, and a really good, it looks great visually and looks good on the shelf. So yeah, let's talk about articulation. Alright, for articulation, it's pretty much the basic Hiya kind of articulation. You got your head. I'm not sure how the system in the neck is set up, but you got head right here, and then you got some head movement right here in the neck, and then you got the big joint in the neck. This one can go really far down, and it can look pretty far up. That's pretty good, and then pretty far down just for the neck. And then you can go side, and then the mouth does open, and this is where I address my major issue of most Hiya figures, especially GMK and this Godzilla, by extension King Ghidorah 91. The tongues. I am not a fan at all of the movable tongues on these figures. I am very against them, you could say, because whenever you open the mouth, the tongues will always stick to the top. They will never come down, and they just stick to the top of the mouth, and that really bothers me, because every time you gotta come in, it's not really that big of a deal really, but it's just annoying to me. You gotta come in, bring down the tongue every single time, you open and close it. So I had tried to, you can kind of see some of the residue in the jaw right there. I had tried to glue the tongue to the bottom jaw, and it worked for a while until the glue I was using broke. So it's just gonna keep doing that. But head sculpt, while we're at it, it's supposedly pretty accurate, but I'm sure there's people that will say it's not super accurate. But I mean, the closed mouth does look good to me. You get halfway open, looks cool, but I think fully open does look a little silly, and I'm not sure if the jaw shape, like going like inwards that way, is accurate, but it's not really a big deal for me. I'm not a big accuracy kind of guy, but yeah. Anyways, moving down to the arms here, they're pretty sturdy. They're a lot better than GMK's in my opinion, but you got your basic in and out. It's kind of tight, but I think that's just kind of how most Hiya Godzilla figures are, or just most of them in general. Basic arm movement, they probably can do a 360, although I'm not going to try it. And then the wrist is, they're pretty interesting because I like the sculpted open hands, but they pop off really easily. Now, that might be a good thing because he does come with a pair of extra hands, which I'm not going to attach it. These are just like grippy hands or whatever. But these ones tend to pop off really easily. It gets kind of annoying, so not really a big deal. But what is a big deal to me is the torso. It's only one piece, and it loves to shift. It's my copy is very loose, so it just loves to shift around. So it's not really, there's like this like indent right here, and you can't really line it up really, because sometimes it will just like get out of alignment or whatever. But he does have a good crunch, so you can get him to look very far down. That's full crunch, I think, and then you can go very high up. Like that. Boom. So, yeah, the chest is pretty cool. I think the neck just being a tad loose in the chest is not the greatest, but it's not, as long as it's not popping off, I guess. So let's move on to the legs right here. They're pretty cool. For some reason, the legs, it looks like he has two knees right here, but that's as far as they can go, and I'm pretty sure, and then this is as far as, like, you can extend them. So it looks like he has two knees kind of, but he really doesn't. But I don't know. I'm not really a good person at like showing articulation on camera, so I'm just like, he has much more probably range than I'm describing, but this is just what I'm showing. I do like his ankle pivots. It goes really cool, and the other leg does the same thing, so not a big deal. So yeah, pretty solid for the body articulation. Now the tail is a lot better than GMK's, I think, in my opinion. It's not as like hard to move as GMK's, but it is still stiff, so you can still crank it. You can get it pretty far. It's nothing like 91's, but yeah, you can get it decently far, and it's not impossible to move. Although, again, this is probably just a me thing, but I am not a fan of them going to the very tip of the tail, like this very last piece. It goes all the way, and there's a small ball joint. I'm not a fan of that. I wish they would like stop like right here, but it's not really a big deal. If it's not popping off, it's probably fine. So yeah, the articulation's pretty good for Hiya Godzilla 2000. A lot better than GMK's in my opinion. So let's go on to some comparisons. Alright, here we have him with the Bandai Memorial Box Godzilla 2000. Now, this is my favorite of the Bandai Godzilla 2000s, and I attribute that to him being a really, really cool shade of green, and the spine paint. I think it's my favorite of the Godzilla 2000s, even though it's not technically purple. But I think these two, this one's a little darker, this one's a little lighter. But I like the way they look together. They look pretty cool. And yeah, they look pretty cool. Let's get out the main contender for comparisons real quick. We all knew this comparison was coming. We have the Monster Arts Godzilla 2000, which is technically Megaguirus, is technical Godzilla 2000, but in my opinion, I do like the head sculpt more on the Hiya, and I do like the Monster Arts for the posability, but there's a certain point. This is sort of like a Monster Arts like little like segue here real quick, but I am not a fan of the really dumb extending joints on 2000. I really hope that Monster Arts does not continue to do that, because it is very weird. Like, especially like in the neck, like sure bro, I guess, but like, I don't know. I heard the new Monster Arts 75 is gonna have movable dorsal plates Not just the one in the neck like 72. All of them are going to be able to move. I just think that's really stupid. Like, that's just asking... I don't know if it's going to be breakable or anything, but I think that's just asking for trouble. I'm not a fan of it. But that's not a review by him. Anyways, so these guys together, they... Honestly, you got your accuracy with the Hiya. You got your articulation with the Monster Arts. I think both of them serve their purpose, and it's just up to the collector which one they want, because you got your... This one's only like, what, 60 bucks? This is, what was 130? You have options out here. You can get both, you can get one or the other, it doesn't really matter. I think the whole stupid Hiya versus Monster Arts, Hiya's Monster Arts killer crap is really annoying. I think it's just cool that we have options now. Like 10, 12 years ago, we only had the Sakai Monster Arts, but now we have these two. We have both options now, so I think that's pretty cool. So guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick, like, really scuffed review of an articulated Godzilla figure by me. I probably didn't go into as much detail as most other reviewers, but I just wanted to make this video because I think this figure is pretty cool. So yeah, that's all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, and comment, do all that. And I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya!